Like, hello everybody, how's it going? Hopefully, I was muted there for a second, but it seems like I'm back. I hope all you're doing well. I mean, there's 16 people watching already. This is incredible, amazing actually. So, probably give me just 1 second here. I just got myself a bit of water, guys. I just hopped out of a call. That's why I'm a bit. Yeah, it took me some few minutes to get ready, guys, but. Little echo. Okay, this is weird. All right. Okay, let me try to fix some audio here. There is a little echo, you're saying. Never had that problem before. So let me see if you can still hear that echo, guys. Let me see. Yeah, so it seems just let me know if that's still an issue. So first of all, before we get started, I want to tweet out that I'm actually live. Audio is good, Leandro is saying. Okay, so maybe something is on your end, really. Before I get started, I want to tweet out that I'm actually live. So I'll have to see where I tweeted out that I'm actually live. Oh, this is it. So I'm going to quote tweet myself here. Repost. No, quote tweet. All good. Okay, that's awesome. Fantastic. Now live. Join now. I mean, that should be enough. Should I get the link as well? Okay, let me get the link as well. Twitter. So just give me a second, guys. I forgot to tweet this out. So just 1 second, guys. I'll be there with you. I have prepared some few things for you. So just so let me copy that link. Copy link address. Copy clean link. Let me see. Is that the right one? Oops. I should have done this a bit earlier, guys. I know, but it seems that is the right link. Fantastic. So that's great. So I'm gonna join now. So that's it. Live now. Live now. Join now. Whatever. I mean, I think it just makes sense for people. So that's that. That is great, guys. So first of all, Ozzy, I'm seeing you, brother. Have a good, nice one. Nice meeting you guys. We're 38 people in the building. This is absolutely amazing. Hi, Ozzy. Let me start greeting everybody. First of all, um, so we got Ozzy in the house. Great, nice meeting you, man. Anders Pulls. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Shout out to Leandro. Shout out to Hex Mole. Shout out to Kevin. Kevin, are you actually there? He, I think, posted something earlier. So, guys, today, what do I have? What have I prepared? So, there's few things which I'm seeing. Some people are they're having a bit of issues, I think. So first of all, is some few understanding. Like, I mean, first let's go a bit about TitanX, just the normal updates of TitanX. Then we're going to dive into DragonX because yeah, I'm seeing there's more and more people which are yeah probably not understanding some of it. But I think maybe we can just go through it, and it will be much more clear how to do it. So, hey man, how's it going? I'm seeing more people coming in, so this is great. Love seeing all the people coming in. Really appreciate. It's pretty much an honor for you, for me doing this, man. And yeah, thank you for being here, man. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, if somebody told me like I don't know a few months ago, it's like yeah, you're gonna be doing live stream and there's gonna be 38 people listening to you, I would be like, yeah, well, nah, I don't believe you. But here we are, man. Kiddo, nice meeting you, buddy. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? I'm just searching for. I'd prepared some few questions here, which I'm not finding right now, which is a bit weird, to be honest. So, oh, there you are. I think I found some of it here on one of my screens. So I'm gonna get to that a bit later on. So yeah, Leandro, nice meeting you. Anders, more people are joining, so this is nice. All right, so probably let's just look at some few updates here now. And number one, let's look at TitanX. So I'm gonna jump into dune.com/Mike Dean/TitanX. and hopefully you know this already. But if you don't, yeah, this is pretty much the TitanX community dashboard. And while you're here, if you can just click on the what is it? Is this like or favorite? Yeah, click on that. You need to make an account to favorite this. The reason why this is important is because, as you see here, it's popular, and when this is popular, Dune itself, they refresh this periodically. I mean, you can see here, these are like 2 hours. So this is the last 2 hours have been updated, let's say, right? I mean, it's normally it's fine enough. Like you don't need up to date data like that. But anyway, the thing is like the more stars it gets on, the more popular it gets, the more it gets refreshed by Dune, which is great. So we want to keep it going like that, which is popular, which is great, because this is also like a marketing angle as well. If somebody types in TitanX and they come to this dashboard, they see it's popular, maybe they're a little bit more intrigued, which is like, maybe yeah, what is this TitanX thing? Why is this popular? Maybe let me do some more research. And then obviously they see Mike Dean in the house. So that would be great. And one thing which I've added as well is here, TitanX Hub. That's something we're going to talk about a bit later. This is my new creation, which yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. So this is really great, I think, and we're definitely going to look at it. Oh, the Mo is in the house, man. Shout out to you, man. The more people coming, this is crazy. I always have to look in some of this stuff as well. So here, Mo, what's up, man? How's it going, buddy? Adam, it seems like you are using Twitter. Welcome, Mike. Great stuff. Lovely. He made it. Yeah, man. Mo, normally at this time you're going to sleep. Is that not correct? Like normally whenever I do streams or yeah, even interviews, you're going to sleep at that time, right? So are you going to sleep now or what's the deal? I think we are completely different time zones, so that's that. Shout out to Zatan Titan. Let's go. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just gonna take some few moments here to just say hi to everybody, because yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, as I said earlier, man, I really appreciate that you guys are here. And yeah, so Navin, shout out to you. D Maxon, shout out to you. TitanX is the best. I totally agree with that. V, hey Mike, how's it going? Kato, good evening. Hey man, how's it going? Hope you're all well. Anders, shout out to you. Yeah, 100%. Yep, 100%. You got it. Yeah, Mo, shout out to you, my friend. We got DTM trading in the house. Absolutely amazing. Easy's in the house. Amazing. All right, guys. So let's just jump into this, man. The trucking boy from Morocco. Shout out to you, my friend. This is great. All righty. So let's look at some of the few things here. So first of all, we wanted to check some of the few metrics of TitanX, which is great. So I'm going to open my Dune dashboard, and the other side which I'm going to open as well is obviously app.titanx.win, which also has some few stats which we can definitely look at as well. So maybe let's just start here actually. So we can see the liquid is now 18.8%, and this has definitely gone up, right? I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, last week we were around 9% or so. So this has definitely went up. And the reason why it went up, we can definitely look at it. I mean, it's not a surprise at all. So we can look at that data for sure, what happened there. And then now you can see the staked 43%. I don't exactly remember what it was last week, but yeah, I mean, no, I can pull up these numbers. But anyway, right now we got 43% staked, and then yeah, and buy and burn 37.38%, which is great. And the penalties are very low, which is great. I mean, because yeah, like if you're participating on TitanX, yeah, I mean the penalties, yeah, you should not at least yeah, the penalties shouldn't be that high. I mean, basically when penalties start going up, you're seeing is that like people are not participating, right? Because they started their minors and then they just never came back, which is potentially great for people who are just holding. But normally you want to see people not getting any penalties at all, really, because why? That's just a measure of but people are engaging, right? And people who are engaging is the more people are engaging, the better, basically, right? Because they potentially attract more people. So, and at the end of the day, it's like this number has, well, it has to grow. Without this number growing, is like there's no, the growth has to be there, and the growth is the unique users, basically, and that number has to grow. Crypto Freedom says, Mike the Goat, much appreciated for your work. Absolutely, much appreciate you, brother. Thanks that you're here. So let's, so that's that regarding penalties. Also here we have the LP fees burn, which is great. I mean, it's 0.06%, but nevertheless, this is still a lot of, this is great because I don't know if you guys know, but the buy and burn, it holds the liquidity pool NFT, which is from Uniswap. And since it was bootstrapped at the beginning, that means the miners which got started, some of that ETH was used to create an LP position on Uniswap V3, and that LP generates fees, let's say, and those fees can be collected if you are the owner of the NFT, basically, and the owner of the NFT is the buy and burn. So there is a function to call those to collect those fees, and then they can get burned. So that's why you see the LP fees here which burn, which is really great actually, because it's I think the philosophy of Jake, the creator of TitanX, is the philosophy for him is the zero waste philosophy. So the great thing about it is like zero waste means also anything which gets created. So also those LP fees are used, let's say, right? So they zero waste. So I think that's a great philosophy to have, especially when you build systems, because in any system there's always like, I mean, I'm an engineer, right? So this is something which is dear to my heart, obviously. If you have a system which basically everything gets used, let's say, even the waste which gets used, is just a great system. And why I like TitanX is because like, I mean, there's a lot of these little things, and the code is also nice, and there's a lot of things, like a lot of things which you can look into, and it satisfies a lot of my let's say my brain and my curiosity, because I'm a very curious person. So that's that which really helps me. I get, like, I want to know how things work, and it's great. I started this YouTube because then I can actually live what I really like anyway, which is like, I like to just yeah check into systems, see how they work, and then explain it to myself. And I'm a visual learner, so I like to draw the stuff on like a digital whiteboard. And it's nice that I can share with you guys, and hopefully it makes sense for you as well to understand some of these things, and you can make better decisions, because at the end of the day, it's your life will, it gets better. Your life is like, it's a function of good decisions you're making, right? So I just believe it's like the more better decisions you make over time, this the better you're gonna be, like your life is gonna be. So I'm trying my best to provide you with like how systems work, what I see it myself, and then potentially you can make better decisions of that. And if that's the case, I believe like over a long time, then you're just gonna benefit from it, right? I mean, that's the premise, what I have up to now. Anyway, a lot of rambling there, but hopefully that makes sense. So, oh, this is also nice. Yeah, I didn't know that. Oh, you can click some of it away as well. Oh, nice. I didn't know. Look at that. You see? All right. Well, this is great. I mean, I also like the UI of this site. I have to say, it's pretty great. I mean, I definitely want. I'm going to take some of these things as well to just jump on TitanXHub.com, because I like very clean design and things which are working. Yeah, I mean, that's why I like the UI very much as well. So I try to make this UI just a very clean, UI as well to just have something here. Yeah, like I mean, this is like the high bar they set, and I'm trying to keep up. Let's say on the design. I mean, obviously, I'm showing something else, but this is on the design thing. So yeah, that's right. Let's look at the buy and burn man, because this is actually, yeah, the one of the things which is backing our TitanX in some ways, right? So we got the V1. We have 10 million in there, so which is great. I mean, in ETH that's 4,458, which is great, because yeah, we this is something which can definitely be used in the future. Like if there's any time where there's a lot of inflation, this can just be turned on, and it can definitely fight that inflation. Not even fight it in per se, but it's any sell pressure. It can fight the sell pressure. Let's say. Not even that, we got a V2 as well, and there's like 13 million in there. So there's actually even more money in V2 currently than V1. And obviously, this is also just a function of how many miners get started. Obviously, so now as you can see, right now, the variable which can change obviously now is yeah, every 60 minutes now. This is the thing, right? Because the less minutes which are set here, the more, yeah, the more ETH gets eaten up, let's say, or gets used to buy and burn, right? So you want to play, you want to get a sweet point of, yeah, not too use not too much, but also, yeah, um, yeah. So it's like you want to get a sweet point of like using it too much or using too less. So you want to get that sweet point, because, I mean, let's jump to deck screen, huh? Because that's also important here. Because let's look at the price, right? I mean, everybody likes the price. So if you, yeah, so I mean, I guess you know deck screener, then I'm just using, so I normally use the V3. Is this the biggest one? Volume 1 million? Yeah, that should be the one. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and by the way, here, there's also a guy who created a pool on TitanX on Pulse Chain. So that's also interesting because yeah, potentially now. So he just breached over the tokens, TitanX tokens, over to Pulse Chain, and then just created a, yeah, liquidity pool there. Yeah, since it's all permissionless, you can definitely do that. So that's a great thing about yeah, permissionless systems. Let's say you don't need to add, you don't need to ask questions to do stuff. You can literally just do it, and nobody can stop you. So this guy bridged over his tokens to Pulse Chain and went to Pulse X and created a liquidity pool, and you can start trading there. There's nothing to, you can't stop that. I mean, that's the beauty of permissionless systems, right? Which is, yeah, people can do stuff without asking any questions. But also, obviously, in that pool of people who are doing that, is definitely gonna have something which is, yeah, there's also malicious people who are gonna be there, because like they don't have to ask questions either. Well, that's unfortunate part of it, but that's permissionless systems, right? Like if there is no ruler, let's say, anybody can do it. Well, even malicious people will be there as well. That's part of it. Just have to accept it. But nevertheless, I think over time, this is something like good people are gonna win. Well, I mean, this is a belief of mine, right? I mean, people who just provide value over a very long time, you're just gonna, yeah, you're potentially just gonna win on that sense, which is, yeah, people who are scamming, they can do it once. Well, obviously, with crypto, because they're not showing whatever their true personality online, they, yeah, a lot of scams, unfortunately. But anyway, I'm rambling now too much. Let's check the price here of TitanX, man. Yeah, shout out to Volcom here. Shout out to you, man, the goat. Nice one, man. Thank you very much, man. And shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. So let me see. What is it here? What is V saying SK8 Titanic pool also? Okay. Not sure. Not sure what you mean there. SK8 Titanic pool also? Okay, I need some more context there, V, to understand what you mean. Shout out to Ozzy as well. Anyway, let's look at the price here. So now we are at 6 zeros. So we are we are hovering between 6 zeros and 5 zeros here. So it seems, right. I mean, I think this is has been there since, if we go on the day. All right, let me see. So let me see that. I mean, I'm just putting on a day so that we can see what has happened in the last few days, let's say, right? It's much easier that way. So now we can see. So we had, yeah, yesterday. So yeah, so yesterday we were hovering 6 zeros, and then yeah, now we go back to 5 zeros yesterday. So we are definitely hovering between 6 zeros and 5 zeros there, hovering on that spot. So one thing I would like also to just mention, if you visit TitanXHub.com, and the prices are also shown here live. I'm actually pulling these prices from Deck Screener, live from Deck Screener, and they get updated every. Initially, I set it to 10 seconds, but I put it now to 30 seconds because I was, yeah, like there's a technical reason why I did so. But nevertheless, I think 30 seconds is more than enough to have your changes. And you can see here the price. So, and yeah, yeah. So this is one of the things which I would like to definitely to say. So yeah, so now as we can see, so the price, I mean, well, you can see, right, over the last few days, where I mean, since, yeah, well, we've been basically going down for some time now, obviously, because um what I would be like to do actually would be, I would like to have uh like the supply coming out and the price on the same thing. You could do it. I mean, what I could do is on Trading View, but I don't want to do it live now because it wouldn't work. But what I would like to show is, so these are minted tokens by contract day, right? I mean, this is basically minted supply. So I would like to get this one here, and overlay it over the price, and also just flip it, right? So 180 degrees, flip it down. And the reason why is you could at least see then that more supply, price going down, less supply, price going up. So now, one of the things which could happen, so this is now the future supply, right? So let's look at next 90 days, let's say, right? Yeah, so next 90 days we can see. So maybe we just look at here. I think this is great here because this is logarithmic. I think it's, if you want to see a lot of like numbers which are very much changing, so you can definitely see now. So the supply is definitely going down now. So over the next few months, let's say. So we in January. This is now, yeah, like this is today, and you see it's definitely going down. So what I would like to see basically is like overlay this, uh, and this I am definitely going to do that for sure. Yeah, it's just now I can do it with Trading View, but unfortunately, Trading View doesn't have great data like as Deck Screener, especially for these. Um, yeah, for these decentralized exchanges, they don't have really great prices. But nevertheless, that would be great, as a great thing to actually just observe, which is like, okay, more supply is coming out, the price going down. Well, I mean, this is, it makes sense, right? I mean, more supply coming to the market. People have now, like, well, they've been mining probably for 90 days or so. And now, yeah, some of them definitely want to take profit. I mean, you can see somebody selling, right? And well, I mean, nevertheless, we still have buyers, right? I mean, this is the whole market, right? You want both of them to be there, right? You want to have sellers and buyers. And the great thing about it as well, I mean, look at the we have where's the volume here? Yeah, the volume. Yeah. So I mean, you can see it yourself here. We have like over one, yeah, almost 1 million. You can say definitely like over 1 million over to the last 24 hours volume. And this is absolutely crazy, man. For a token which has just been 90-day old, we're having 1 million volume. And over the last 24 hours. And one thing for sure is like, I don't know if you watch my LP video, my liquidity providing video, is like you can play liquidity provide game as well. I mean, you don't need to sell directly if you want, but you can also. So with liquidity providing, let me there's two things you can do, right? One thing is just enter the market and exit the market. Like it's a great way how to do that, because then you can get the price which you want. And then second, what you could do is you could be just a liquidity provider and you could be earning passive income. It's a much harder game to play, because yeah, it's just a much harder game to play, but definitely something which can be learned. And it's not that it's there's some few rules you need to understand and then play it. And then you need one big thing which I like to do is like know all the risks. And once you know them, then at least you know what kind of risk you're taking. So I like to know all the risks, and then I can decide like, okay, is this a risk I'm willing to take? Right. And if that's the case, then at least you know all the risks are. Like I don't want to be I don't want to find out at later stages like, oh, I didn't even anticipate this kind of risk was there. No, no, no. Just tell me all the risks. Like I'm like, yeah, just tell me all the risks, like everything which can happen, and then at least I can assign some probabilities to all those outcomes. You know, hopefully that makes sense. But nevertheless, what I'm trying to say is like definitely a LP game can be played, and it's kind of lucrative as well. Why? There is first of all, as a LP provider, you want the volume to be as much as possible. So the more volume, the better. What does that mean? The more volatility, actually, the better, because volatility means volume. Because every time somebody buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. So if somebody sells a lot of TitanX right now, the price will go down. So look here. So somebody's selling $1,000. We know that's I mean $1,000. Somebody's buying for 42. Some buying for 400. You know, so it's all. So this is probably a bit more on the higher side. But obviously, if somebody comes and sell, I don't know, 100,000, right? If somebody comes now and says 100,000, the price will drop quite high. I mean, one of the things is like I would like to know sometimes, like, okay, if somebody says now 100,000 worth of TitanX, how much, what kind of a dip will we have? You can actually do that. That's actually fairly easy. I mean, let's just do that because I'm now curious actually what will happen. So we have here, do we have TitanX? Yes, we have TitanX here. So let's say, so TitanX, um, yeah, let's say ETH. Well, say ETH. Okay, let's say ETH. Let me do USDC. So let me see. What I like to do is um, that 100,000 guys. Yeah, that's 100,000. So I mean, you can see. So we're gonna drop, 4.55%, which is actually pretty good. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of money, a lot of liquidity on the downside, because 100,000. Well, let's see now, 1 million. Okay, there's no sufficient fund for that. Yeah, like you can't even drop that much. But let's go 200,000. Okay, that's definitely you're getting now. So let's say 300,000. Okay, it's calculating. Okay, I don't know. It's not showing. Anyhow, I mean, there's other tools which I utilize to check it out. But anyhow, there is definitely. I mean, yeah. Now you can see, so 300,000. Sometimes it's not showing. Okay. But anyhow, what I'm trying to say is like obviously a big whale can come and definitely drop the price for sure. I mean that can. I mean that's a risk which, but that's in every token, literally. I mean there's nothing new there to be honest. Yeah, so there's that. We talked about volume, the buys which are coming in, and all that. This is great. Yeah. So, guys, if you have any questions, just let me know. Then we can definitely have a look at those. Otherwise, I'm just going to be speaking about things which I'm curious about. Just take it once again. I'm taking a sip of water. Hey, Nomad Investor, what's up, man? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. So, so we looked at the price. We looked at the volume. We looked about LPs, which is a game can be played, but definitely you something which you can learn. I mean, I'm definitely doing it. And yeah, if you're interested, yeah, shoot me a message and we can definitely talk about that, how we can go about it. Yeah, so now let's get back to some of this stuff here, right? So what we got here? So day 91. Okay, Adam has some few questions. I'm gonna definitely look into them as well, and probably let's just go through this year as well. So day 91, we got 256,783, so almost 257k miners. That's in total. So that's great. The unique numbers, well, it's slowly growing back up again. So the total ETH from all the miners up to now is 48.2k. So yeah, that's definitely very nice, I have to say. V is saying your voice is therapeutic. Oh man, didn't hear that one. I haven't heard that one before, my friend. So that's definitely thank you. That's definitely new. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate that. And nice to hear. So 48.2k, man, that's quite a lot of ETH, my friends. And that's a lot of money. Damn. Yeah. So crazy. I mean, I never thought that would be this kind of money coming into the system. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Anyhow, if we check out the user growth, which is yeah, I mean, I had mentioned this is the number here. So I mean, you can see sometimes the number here and the number here, like they differ a little bit, but it's literally just the time when the update happened. So you can see this is 3 hours ago and this is 2 hours ago. So that's why there's that sometimes. But nevertheless, this gets updated every so often. So that is not a big deal normally. So the unique users, 24 hours. This is the growth rate, which well, it just says like, well, we just had yesterday less growth than the day before, let's say. So it's comparing the last 24 hours with the 24 hours before that, right? And here unique users last 7 days. This is great. So we can see over the last 7 days, if we compare this week to the week before, we actually got more users now. So this is great, 2.5%. It's definitely the growth now is a bit slowing down, but you can see it's picking up again. So obviously the growth here at the beginning, day 30. So the growth was very high here. So now it's topping up a little bit. But I think a lot of projects which are going to be coming in, I'm hoping I'm seeing that this growth will start growing back up again. So yeah, so that's like kind of how I'm seeing it. But I mean, we can see here the user growth is yeah, how things are growing. We're growing up to now, which is yeah, pretty much crazy, I have to say, right? So we have here some the minor growth, which is also very interesting to see. So here is the total of miners which got started, and this is the total ETH which got spent, right? So when I mean, if you you can start with 1 power miner or 100 power miner. So obviously, if you start 101 power miner or 100 power miner, so potentially you're gonna have the same amount of miners, but way more ETH. So that's why I have these two here actually. So here, day 90, obviously, a lot of miners got unlocked, and potentially some people took some profit and also, yeah, just started new miners, right? I mean, they got some ETH from the payout, I guess. and then they started new miners, which is great. I mean, we saw yesterday a lot of miners got started. So we got 436 miners, and this is has always been that way pretty much. Every time there was a big payout, a lot more miners got started. So I mean, all these peaks here we can see here, day 56, 100% that was a payout day. And I mean, it was obviously, and this was the double payout day. So yeah, nothing new there. So this is great actually. So here, obviously, now less miners got started now. Um, I mean, it's just potentially more people. Yeah, it's just first. I mean, obviously, they could be some few reasons out there. One is a few. I think some few people are saying it like, "Oh, DragonX has caused that." Well, maybe potentially there's one. That's definitely one for sure. And then the other thing as well is one thing I could think about as well is, yeah, I mean, people who probably started earlier on, they're like, okay, I have all my miners set now. I don't need to start new miners now because I have it all set up already, and I'm just waiting for them to be unlocked and stuff like that. So I mean, there's that as well. But I think miners will start picking up again when all these new projects start appearing, right? Because well, the only thing is like you do need TitanX for all these new projects, right? And potentially also Ethereum as well. So yeah, there's some few projects. We're gonna go later on with some few new more projects. So let me read out here comment from Rockinos. Previous double payouts 2008, we got more than 16,000 miners created. Now day 90 payout only 2,000 miners. Any reason why, sir? Well, I guess I just answered that, right? I mean, one of the reasons is I just mentioned that pretty much, right? I think here, first of all, day 56, let's say we can go back and look at day 56, right? Day 56. So here we were really in really growth phase, right? So day 56, you look at the rate of growth which was here. So there was a lot of short-term miners were in profit, and you are like, oh man, I need to start doing short-term miners as well. I got my money, so let me start short miners. So that, but then it's like, well, things started going, and then the growth rate started plummeting. Well, not as high as before, right? Yeah, pretty much, man. Yeah, Roy Kuno says FOMO. Yeah, definitely. That's one of the thing as well, for sure. But yeah, pretty much. But pretty much, I think this was yeah, the growth rate was pretty high here, so people were more optimistic about the future, let's say, right? And they're like, oh, I'm gonna start new miners, man, because look at this growth here. If we keep on growing like this is what's gonna happen. But anyway, the future came, and well, the growth was not as high as anticipated, I guess. And then well, things how yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then DTM, what is he saying as well? He's saying miners are correlated to the current price of transaction. As soon as price goes up, we should see more people enter the opportunities. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's also a thing, but w- sure, that's one thing. But I mean, the price going down as well, it just means like all these people who are getting their unlocks now, which they have been there, like probably they've started the first day, they have a lot of miners coming out here, right? And obviously they're going to take a percentage of those, and the more people who are taking uh, who get the unlocks, they're going to take the profits, right? I mean, you could I mean, this is clear, right? Just look at the minted supply. Look how much supply we got here. This is 2.31 trillion, let's say. I mean, just look at this between, I mean, I like to view the dates since day 83 up to today, let's say day 90, right? Look how much supply that is which came out. So obviously that's like, if you've been mining since the first day and you haven't gotten anything yet, and you just got your miners now, obviously you're going to take some profit. And what does that mean? The price will go down. Well, that's how things are. Like, I mean, that's how the system works, right? So yeah, I mean, there's that. And well, obviously that also correlates with growth in some ways, right? Because when people take profits, the price goes down, and people don't like seeing red candles. When they see red candles, they're like, "Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna start a new miner now." But let's say we get over this, right? Once we get over it, and so once we get over this, which is now okay, the next few weeks here, the supply is definitely going to be going down. I mean, we can see here, let's say, right, this is one big 1 trillion, let's say, and then the next one is here almost 1 trillion. So it is like going down, like, right? I mean, we can view it here better, maybe in the logarithmic. So things are going down potentially now. When now when there's not so much supply, let's say, and let's add now to the new projects which are coming up. So imagine now, I don't know, the white paper of Hyper gets released, right? And don't forget, visit TitanXHub.com, and you're gonna see whenever the white paper is there, it's gonna be here, right here. So yeah, just bookmark TitanXHub.com, and you'll always be up to date. I also show you the price straight away, and there's more to come very soon. But just on a side note there, my friends. So don't forget TitanXHub.com. So when hyper comes, right? Let's say hyper comes, I don't know, sometimes in February, right? I mean, there's people. There's people speculating when it's going to come. I guess the cheapest speculation is Jake likes number 8 and 28. So it's either coming in February the 8th or February the 28th. I don't know. I mean, I that's what I heard some people saying, which is probably the cheapest speculation on the numerology side of things. But I mean, what you could also do is just um, yeah, I mean, probably there is better ways. I mean, I don't know if you're very big into numerology, you can maybe time it a bit better. But I mean, okay, that's just speculation. The easy way is to just mine and then we'll keep some liquid, and then when it comes, you can get it. And you can see here the burn category, not the burn like is that the no? Hold on a second. Yeah, the burn category is liquid. So what does that mean? That means is you need liquid TitanX. So what I'm seeing basically is now the supply is going down, right? A new narrative of new narrative is going to start to come. Let's say it's coming in February. So let's say now sometimes here January. Yeah. But I mean, I guess if it was me, I'm just going to launch it when the supply is at lowest. Why? Because then the price can go to the highest basically, because now most people are not, yeah, they don't have much supply to just dump on the market. Yeah, I mean, well, there's also other possibilities there, but anyway, you can definitely come up with some scenario how things can go. But nevertheless, which is it's definitely going to come, and when this new narrative start appearing in hyper, I'm seeing is definitely going to create a lot of yeah, it's going to create a lot of new demand for liquid TitanX. And that new demand basically is just going to hit the Uniswap market, man. And the price will have to go up if the demand is high enough. And I mean, first of all, there's more projects. I mean, first of all, like there's Titan Blaze coming up, which is also appearing in, well, they're saying February, right? I'm not sure exactly what they said. No, they said after Hyper. I'm sorry. So Hyper is going to be after. No, Titan Blaze is going to be after Hyper. So, but Hyper has not been announced yet. So TBA to be announced. That's what I've created, and yeah, that's that. So there's more projects. I'm gonna speak about them as well. But I think this was a bit of a tangent there. I walked you through. So hopefully that made sense. Yeah. So there's that. So we talked about the user growth, so that's great. We talked about the miner growth and how that is correlated with the growth here as well. We got the minted supply. We can see. I think the record we created was on day 83. It's crazy, actually. That is day 83. I thought more would be day 90, actually. But I mean, people can let their miners run a bit longer. So, for instance, if your miner ends on day 90, you already missed out. A lot of people made this mistake, actually, right? The mistakes people made was that they mined for 1 day too long, right? And when you mine for 1 day too long, means like you already missed the payout anyway. Well, then you might as well just wait for whatever 6 more days. You're gonna get a bit of that T rank, because those people who start miners, yeah, they're gonna give you a bit more T ranks. So then at least you can just wait those 5 6 days, and then once you have that, you can just, because you have 1 week leeway, and then before the penalty starts hitting, right? So you could definitely use that to, yeah, to, yeah, to just get more of it, right? And then once because maybe you want to keep it liquid for the future anyway, and hyper is not yet out anyway, so you might as well just, if you not want to stake, if you want to keep it liquid anyway, you actually can just leave it running for the 7 days. Actually, while I'm saying this is like, I staked, I had some few stakes coming out the last few days, in the past days. Yeah, I mean, I could have let them run as well, to be honest. But okay, well, I guess I could have done, but I mean, it's not that much different anyway. Um, so okay, so that's that. We talked about the minted supply, the future supply. This is also very interesting for sure. And then yeah, there's that. I think here the staking as well. I'm going to make this a little bit better, because I don't think this is well. You only see how many have been created now. So obviously, the only thing which tells you here is like most of the miners are just the max miners, and they have been growing for sure. Why? DragonX, man. DragonX has been taking a lot of people don't like DragonX, man. I don't know. I think DragonX is great. That's my personal opinion. But obviously, it has created a fraction of people who did not like this a lot. It seems like there's a lot of people who have um, they have created, yeah, they had a future planned, where they got a lot of ETH, let's say, and the day 90 was one of those days where people were really waiting to grab some of that ETH. And the thing is like, yeah, I think I told this story already in the Twitter Spaces, and the following is, I have a friend of mine, right, and he has always um he would have always plans about things before he got the money, right? So if you go to him and start talking to him, he'd be like, oh man, I'm getting this money next week. I've started doing this thing which costs this amount of money, because of the money I'm going to be getting next week. Like he'd be doing that all the time, man. And for me, it was just rather an example of not how to do things in life, to be honest. Because something will go wrong and he will not get that money, and he'll just be mad about that person. So for me, this is the same way. I just, yeah, I never planned anything with the money in the future. Once I have it, okay, fair enough. Then I start doing my stuff. But obviously, as a human, you want to plan things in the future. But I mean, uh, yeah, until the reality hits, there is not certainty, let's say, right? Anyway, probably a lot of rambling, but anyway, I hope I made my it makes sense of what I'm trying to say. So now let me go some of the questions here, what you guys have been sending in, right? So let's see. I'm going to leave TitanX up here for a second while I'm going through the questions. Um, so long-term miners, way to go. That's what long-term miners are way to go. Yeah, I mean, as I said, right, at the end of the day, TitanX, yeah, you create your own supply, and that is through mining. And the longer you mine, the more supply you have. That's pretty much it, right? And when your miners unlock, and you could potentially be at the time where there's a lot of demand for it, and the price will be high, and you can sell much higher. So that's the game we're playing, right? So um All right. So people need good reasons to come and buy and mine Titanics. For the moment, we have a lot of coins and no buyers. Maybe this gonna change with the new projects or good narrative. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree, and this is definitely one of the things. One of the things which I was also saying is like we need these projects for sure. I mean, that's just that. And the way Titanics was built is basically to create that. And yeah, so all these niche projects are great, and I mean, as you guys have seen, well, the reason why I created TitanXHub.com is definitely that, right? Because I was feeling the pain of going through Twitter. Oh, there's this project, have they launched already? Do they have a white paper? What are their links? What are they burning? What is their liquidity pool? Are they doxed? Like all these questions in my head was, I don't know. So whenever I experience pain in my life, because my philosophy is very simple. I mean, my life philosophy is like you're not going to change unless you feel pain. And for me, it's rather when I start feeling pain or something, I'll just create a solution for it so I don't feel that pain that much. So one of the reasons for creating TitanX Hub was I just couldn't keep up with all the projects. And I needed a central place where I could literally, if I right now think like, oh, somebody asked me a question about Helios. How did they do it again? I just want with one click be there. So I can type in titanxhub.com, Helios, let me click on the white paper and then start reading the white paper. And it's like, oh yeah, I remember it was somewhere in the staking or in the treasury or whatever, and start reading that. So this was pretty much TitanX Hub was founded on pain of me trying to keep up. And I just decided, obviously, you guys know, if you guys are following me, you know that I created first. The first time I experienced that pain was I created the Google Sheet. And then from that Google Sheet, well, people were visiting that site, Google Sheet. And I mean, it was pretty shitty. I mean, it was doing what it's supposed to do, but it was pretty shitty, right? So I decided, man, I'm gonna make a site, and this is the site. And I think yeah, it's very useful. And potentially, why this is better, TitanXHub.com, the site itself, I can start improving it on this, right? I mean, look, I can, I have the prices now here. Whenever a new project comes up, I can update the prices. I'm gonna add how much a project has burned, and so eventually this site is going to be a ranking site, and the default ranking is how much they have burned. Like a project who have burned the most is going to be number one, and that also includes Titanix because Titanix also has buy and burn. So that's why Titanix was added here because I want it to be also in the ranking side, whereby how much have they burned. I mean, also burning, for instance, DragonX doesn't per se burn, but they lock up tokens forever. So that's effectively like burning. So that is also going to be the same thing for me for this ranking. So I'm working on how to add that. And then some other few things. For instance, if you just click on this part here where you have the name, look, you're taken to this site here. So there's coming soon. So there's, well, some few things here. I'm cooking, right? So I'm gonna be, and then if you click DragonX, also coming soon. Titan Legend coming soon. So I haven't added to every page, but yeah, there's few things coming for sure. So there's gonna be like some more stats here, let's say, right? I mean, yeah, you're gonna see. There's a few things coming, but my resources are limited, so therefore I'm trying to yeah, do some up, sorry guys, I'm trying to do updates, but obviously it takes a bit of time, right, to do all these updates. And yeah, I'm trying my best to keep up, but I think for now the site just to keep up with all the projects, and especially if you want to, what is their what is their Telegram account of, I don't know, Titan Blaze. Oh, I heard, I read something on Twitter about whatever Helios. Let me go to their Twitter account. I don't know. Then you can just go to titanxhub.com and then click the link here, and then you'll be taken to their Telegram account, right? So, yeah, probably ramble too much now. But Gabby, hopefully you got your point. Maybe I added some few other things which are not even to your point. Sorry. So, Ozzy saying, thanks, Mike. I have to go to work and watch the rest of the video after work. No worries, man. Ozzy, talk to you later. And yeah, thanks for being with us here, man. And yeah, so let's see. What about the project clones that are popping up? I mean, I guess that will happen, and that will happen for sure. That's that. And the good, like, you are only gonna get copied if you're good, right? So this is actually something good, because it's like shitty projects don't get copied, good projects get copied. So that's my experience, right? Are they going to do better than TitanX? I don't believe so, but potentially they could. But I mean, I haven't seen anything. I mean, I've heard there's somebody trying to do something. I heard about a project. They just did a copy, and people are really looking up to it as well. So, I mean, it could get traction for sure, but nevertheless, I just think, uh, yeah, I'm just gonna stick to what I'm doing here, and that's that. And potentially, I'm gonna look into it, but I mean, it's hard enough to keep up with everything, man. I have also a day job which I need to provide. I mean, yeah, I need to produce the results there as well. So yeah, and then now TitanX Hub, I'm trying to produce stuff, and also, like, I mean, even the ranking here, or even uh, I don't know, like, there is some few like a project was already complaining that they in this, why are they in a certain ranking, whatever, which I don't know. It was definitely not my intention. It was just literally, I just entered everything in the database and just showed the list and pinned two projects which have already launched at the top, nothing else. But anyway, these are all the things which I need to work on, and hopefully I'm gonna, yeah, on the weekend I have a bit more time, and potentially that's what I'm gonna do. So, are you looking at staking differently now with DragonX in the game? Absolutely. So one of the things is for sure, DragonX is a derivative of TitanX staking, right? Pretty much, right? I definitely going to. I haven't done yet because I still have a bit of time. And so if we go to dragonx.win, what we can see here is there's 5 days left. So um, why is the 5 days important? Let's say because now you have the ratio, the 1-to-1 ratio. So we're in week 2. So now, if you look at the white paper of DragonX, so now that's where TitanX comes, right? So if I have a thought like that, like, oh, where's the white paper of DragonX? I'm going to titanxhub.com. Send. I mean, that's why I have this site, man. I mean, this is exactly like if you ask me a question like that, I can go directly to titanxhub.com and then click the white paper. Boom, I have the white paper, and then I scroll down, and then, oh, this is the thing I was looking at. I was looking for, and then I can just show you straight away. It's like, oh, the reason why I'm waiting is obviously because of, well, I'm not, I just didn't get time to get it. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is like you have the ratio if you're 1-to-1, and then the ratio gets bad, gets, let's say, worse over time. So let's say you have 1,000 TitanX, you can now exchange them with in DragonX. You get 1-to-1 DragonX tokens. So if you have 1,000 TitanX, you get 1,000 DragonX. And we're in week 2 right now, so the first 14 days. And then the third week, you only get 950. And then you get 900, 850. And the 12th week, you get half of that. So you only get 500. So that's definitely going to be interesting. And this is, yeah, so that's definitely going to be interesting. So my reasoning why I will want to participate in DragonX is that it's so much harder now to compete in the staking system, whereby why not just go to DragonX? And my reasoning for that is if you want to maintain a certain position in the staking system, let's say, like let's forget about DragonX, let's say, like DragonX was not even there, right? Um, if you want to maintain a certain percentages, let's say, right, you always need to start miners or buy it off the market TitanX so that you can maintain that position, let's say, right? So now the thing is like it's much harder to compete now, right? Well, you can still do it, but maybe it's not very profitable per se. The much easier thing for me would be, why just not hold a deflation, like a deflationary token? Because after 12 weeks, let's say, why am I saying let's say, after 12 weeks, they there's no more DragonX which is going to be on the market. Like you cannot create anymore, let's say. So there's going to be a max supply, and the max supply is obviously now is going to be, it's ever changing until week 12 at the end, and then boom, you have a max supply. So you, first of all, let's look at it this way. Why I would want to be in that token. First of all, um look at the DragonX vault. So they have two vaults here. This one here, so this is the ETH which is coming from staking, right? From the staking class, right? Let's say we have here right now. Here. This is the what you need. So the total ETH in TitanX by vault. So we have 225 ETH. So this ETH is basically going to be buying TitanX over time and going to stake it. So if you're playing the staking game, like you need to compete with this person or with this smart contract. So you need to compete with them, right? And I mean, after 83 days, well, not even, man, because they can keep on buying, right? I mean, that's the thing, right? So it's just going to be a hard game to compete now with DragonX, let's say, right? But I mean, it's still possible. I mean, obviously, even me just saying what I'm just saying right now is, people are so turned away from staking right now that it could potentially just be lucrative again, because people are not even thinking about it again. So there's also that option, let's say. But anyhow, what I'm saying is, DragonX will be buying TitanX off the market and stake it. And then they're going to be buying TitanX, and they're going to be buying burning DragonX. But before they do the buying of DragonX, they are buying TitanX first. I mean, that's also something important which most people do not understand or did not understand. I mean, I can show it. I did show this on the on the interview, me and Eric, but I mean, I can show it again here. So maybe before we jump to that, is as well is, and the DragonX stakes, and when you stake, when the payout cycle happens, people can go and claim that ETH, and that ETH get distributed to three different pools, let's say, right? So you have the TitanX buy vault, which is this one here, right? We have currently they're sitting 225 ETH. And then we have the DragonX buy and burn, which is here. This is the one. And then the other ETH goes to Genesis. 8% of that goes to ETH. So actually, I'm going to talk about some of this here. And I mean, there's also a 3%, and 3% goes to the user which clicks it. This is something also I want to talk about, the 3% incentive fee. I think this is too high. I think they should have set it this high. But anyhow, it is what it is. But I'm going to explain what happened actually, because I found this quite interesting. Anyhow, I'm going off too many tangents here, because as you see, my mind, I'm just too curious about things, and then I want to jump into that as well. So anyhow, let me try to, and so what was the point I was trying to make? The point I was trying to make was here, the buy and burn DragonX, what most people do not understand it very well. Yeah. So here, this is what happens here. So we have the TitanX buy vault. What does that do? It just buys it off. This is the original TitanX weth pool. This is when you sell your TitanX, this is the pool which gets used. This is the one here. The TitanX buy vault buys TitanX. So it sends ETH to this pool, and it gets back TitanX. And that TitanX gets back to the staking vault. So that happens like that. So let me do this, right? I think this is better. Yeah. So actually, you know what? There's a laser pointer, much better, I think. So yeah, you can see the laser pointer. Yeah. So so just to reiterate here a little bit, let's just go through this actually, right? I think because it's just important. I'm going to explain how the buy and burn of DragonX happens later on, right? Because there's a bit some few points there happening. But let's do a quick overview of DragonX so that we're all in the same point here. So we have here the DragonX smart contract. You as the user, you send in your TitanX and you get DragonX back. And this is what you do here. When you get here, is like you put the amount you have, boom. The address which is connected here, by the way, is just my my donation address. So yeah, shout out to you who sending some few tips my way, man. I normally just use it to do to do tutorials like this. So I mean, there's gonna be few videos. I haven't done a video for some time now. I'm gonna make a few tutorials now in the upcoming weeks. It's just time, man, time. Anyway, too much tangent here. Mint DragonX. So you have your DragonX here, all right? You say how much you have. You can just press max as well, and then you mint your tokens. So this is the area here, which is you send in your TitanX to the DragonX, and then when you press mint, you get your DragonX. Boom, that's it. 92% of that TitanX gets sent to this staking vault. 8% gets sent to the Genesis, and on top of the DragonX which you get, this is now on the first week is 1-to-1, and I showed earlier that that rate goes down as well. An additional 8% gets minted, which gets sent to the Genesis. So that's that. So here, this is now the staking vault. Let's look here what happens. And here I have the UI here as well. I think it's just much easier than switching the whole time. So here, whenever we reach 100 billion, 100 billion tokens, or after 7 days, you can create a stake. So when you create a stake here, start exactly. You stake TitanX. This is what you press here, and this is. I'm not sure if there's an incentive for that. I wrote a 3% incentive, but I don't think there is one, right? No, there is no incentive for that. So this is wrong. You see, at least now we're making some improvements here on my drawing here. So there is actually no incentive for that, but anyway, that's a bit of a tangent there. So you create a stake, and then you can only start a stake if 100 billion if this staking vault has 100 billion or after 7 days. And obviously they want to the bigger pays more. They want to get the bigger pays more here bonus. That's why they have this. But then after 7 days, they just take it. That's what they do. And then we have here claim ETH, which is basically when these stakes have been so whenever a stake has been made, these are max stakes, so they can create more and more of those. Right? There's more of them, and then at some point you can just claim ETH, and then all these max stakes, all that ETH gets now redistributed so they claim ETH in the payout cycles. 8% of that goes to Genesis, 44.5% goes to the TitanX buy vault, and the other 44.5% goes to the buy and burn DragonX. I'm going to make a video of this as well, man, because I think this is just, right now I'm just freestyling here, but I think it's just much easier to create just a clean video, which I just record and go through everything, because now I'm just doing freestyle here. But anyhow, and then here you have these two things, right? The vault, which is the buy TitanX vault, so that's that. And then you have the other one, which is the buy and burn DragonX, which is that thing here, right? So let's go through the TitanX buy vault. How does it work? So normally it's fairly simple. There's a function which you call, which you have there on the front end, and once you call that function, and there's also like some few timing as well. So right, you cannot always call it at any times. So there's an incentives for it, sure, and then there's some ETH, the next buy and burn. So that can also be adjusted, how much can be buy and burned. But if I make that video, I'm going to go through all of that as well and go through the code as well, like some of these major things as well. So there's that. But anyhow, so let's get now to the buy and burn DragonX. I might be talking too fast, man. Am I talking too fast? Let me see, let me go through some of the questions here first of all. Maybe so. I think Dragon should have given existing long-term stakes the option to transfer these stakes into DragonX. Okay. So here somebody is saying, Ben is saying, I think DragonX should have given existing long-term stakers the option to transfer their stakes into DragonX. I mean, yeah, sure, that could have been an option, but yeah, I guess that was not made. But one thing I know for sure, if you go to TitanXHub.com, you're going to see Shogun. Shogun, and if you go to the burn category, which is tightening stakes, so Shogun is going to do something very similar of that. So we're looking forward to how that happens, tightening stakes. And Shogun, it seems to be I've written here to be announced, but potentially is going to be launched after Hyper. Yeah, so after Hyper is launched, Shogun is going to be launched, and this is also a project by Jake himself. So I'm seeing that potentially there's going to be more demand for Jake's projects itself than other projects. But yeah, that's like just my opinion in some ways. Yeah. So okay. So Truewell says, Ben, lucky that would just make the dragons look more simple math. Stake here or there some effect. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, thank you very much, brother. Nice that you're here. It's absolutely amazing. So, guys, we have like something like 15 more minutes or 20 more minutes, 20 more minutes. So, I like to keep it at least like an hour and a half because otherwise it's just too much. And yeah, I also want to get some food and all that. Yeah, but an hour and a half is just yeah, it's good enough, man. Because otherwise, yeah, you guys, yeah, it's just it doesn't make sense to make it much longer. So I'm just going through some of these questions here. Sometimes I'm just clicking straight away, showing it. But anyhow, you're doing such a good job for the community, all the work. We are so blessed. Okay, thank you very much, man. Appreciate, man. Much appreciated. Okay. Okay. So here, how often is DragonX buying and burning from the vault? Set intervals or random based on markets? Buy and burning. I mean, from my understanding, I'm going to make a video about this as well, but just without looking deeply into the code, my understanding is like it just works very similar as the TitanX V2 is the from that's my understanding. So literally, if you know how the buy and burn V2 works, DragonX is just very similar. It has very similar mechanics, let's say. Uh, So D Maxon says Dean is diamond in the community. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. So isn't Helio, yeah. So isn't Helio that's basically building on Titan X on itself with sort of like a DAO etc. I haven't looked into Helios yet. I'm gonna be having. I'm not sure. Was it Helios? Yeah, I think I was talking to the creator of Helios, I think, on Twitter, and potentially we have next week an interview. Was it Helios? Ah, let's hope so, man. I mean, there's so many things I'm trying to keep up, man. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah. I mean, yeah. So well, that's that. Anyway, Helios. I mean, definitely before we jump into the interview, I'm definitely going to look into it because yeah, there's just too many things are demanding my time right now, and like that's why I like to do the interviews because then I'm forced to look into it, and then once I'm forced to look into it, then understand it, and then now I can talk about it. Same thing as like DragonX. The reason why I can talk about it so much, and because I have looked into it and I've drawn all these things already, right? So that's that. Um, I think we haven't even talked about how the buy and burn works. All right, I think I got carried away. I want to say we, but it's only me actually. So we got carried away here. I'm just gonna use we. We got carried away. Too many questions. So, uh, how is it possible to know when to stake? I mean, it's just written on the code, literally. Like, I mean, DragonX is yeah, start staking. So I mean, you can do it now. So you can see they tell you here next stake is in 6 days, 23 hours, or when 100 billion TitanX have accumulated in the vault. Exactly. So whenever 100 billion TitanX is accumulated, then the stake can just happen, right? I mean, it seems right now, if you look at it, there's currently zero. So whenever that happens, whatever is true, that's what's going to happen. All right. So yeah, Gabby saying so DragonX is using 0.88 ETH an hour to buy and burn, 0.67 ETH to buy TitanX and staking, and 0.21 to buy and burn staking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you can just go to dragonx.win and then look what they are writing here. So, Marketman, what's the point of minting DragonX when the price of TitanX is higher? Wouldn't you get more DragonX if you just swap it for TitanX? Um, I mean, the thing is, like, we're on the first 2 days, right? I mean, the launch phase of TitanX, of DragonX, is 84 days or 12 weeks. And during that time, basically, the reason why you'd want to do it now, let's say in the first 2 weeks, or is because you just can get it one to one, and then next week the price basically will be higher now. So I mean, you're going to get less TitanX. So if you have minted earlier, you're gonna pocket, well, 5%, let's say, right? And at the end here, you're gonna have, well, you're gonna have 50% more, let's say, right? In some ways, um, because the people now, they have to pay double to get the same amount as you in the first 2 weeks, right? So that makes sense. And then after these 12 weeks, then the price discovery actually start to happen, because up to now, what is happening is, I mean, you can see the price of, if we go, oh man, TitanX Hub again. Am I shilling this website too much? But I think it's just useful, man. I think it's just useful because literally that's exactly like when I have a thought about something, I just go to this site and then I'm like, oh, I want to see the price. So the reason why the price of TitanX and DragonX is so, like, almost identical in some ways, it can never be higher than TitanX for now. Why? Because of arbitrage opportunities, my friend. So let's put it this way. Let's go, and I'm going to try to explain live how the arbitrage works. But potentially, I'm going to make a video which is much, much better, actually. So now what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to do the 15-minute thing. Oops. Yeah. So now I can see I want to display the price not in USD but in TitanX, because I think this makes much better. Um, so so now you see, like, the price is, like, literally. So you see, like, when so here what happens here. So this is the arbitrage, what is going on, right? Why is this happening? Well, let's put it this way. I bet with you, I haven't looked this up, but I mean, I can bet with you at 320 the buy and burn kicked in. So the buy and burn is basically, it's buying it off. Yeah, we can actually talk about the buy and burn right now. That's great. So let's go back to my drawing. Where's my drawing? My drawing is here. So now, oh, I have the laser. Fantastic. So what happens here? How does the buy and burn work? So whenever somebody triggers the buy and burn, when it's when it's able to be activated, what happens? ETH is sent to this liquidity pool, and they get TitanX back for that. So what just happened? The price now, because obviously they are buying, what that means, the price of TitanX goes up. right? And what happens here? When they get that TitanX, because here is the TitanX DragonX liquidity pool, that TitanX gets sent to this liquidity pool, and they receive DragonX, and then they send it to a burn address. So they just burn it, right? But anyway, what happened here? The price of DragonX start going up. Why? Because it's tied to TitanX. So when you put more TitanX here and take out DragonX, so the price goes up. And when the price goes up, this is exactly what happened. I haven't looked to it, but I'm fairly sure that this is the buy and burn. I haven't looked into it, but I mean, well, there could also be just people buying actually. But this, the price going up this high, I would just my guess right now would be this is the buy and burn. So anyway, if somebody sees the buy and burn, the buy like the price is going up, now I can just mint new DragonX token and dump them, because then I can make because I know I will always get 1 to 1. So I'm just gonna mint the token. I have TitanX. I'm gonna mint them and then just dump them, and then I'm gonna pocket this difference here. So the price can never go higher. It will always come down here during this phase here. And next week the price is gonna get higher. So the ratio is not gonna be 1 to 1. It's gonna be 1 to 0.95. So the price will be this ratio will change, and then people are gonna start arbitraging it again, right? That's pretty much how things are gonna be going like that. So all the way through, people are gonna be arbitraging it. Hopefully that's a bit more clear. Probably in a video I'm gonna make it a bit more clear, because sometimes live explaining it's yeah, not so easy. Anyway, hopefully this is a bit more clear now how actually it works. And yeah, I mean, that's why Jake really insisted that we have this kind of burning, which is your token is tied to TitanX. And if so, you first, especially here, I mean, here we have the ETH, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Normally, if you just have this liquidity pool here, you that would have the same effect in some ways. Anyhow, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. So now, here, shout out to you, man, and Angel, man. Oh man, brother, you you're the only one who I think you're the most person who have sent any super chat so far. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm really thankful, man. Shout out to you, man. Thank you very much, man. You always coming through here, man. It's pretty amazing, man. And Angel, shout out to you, man. Thanks again, Mike. We appreciate you. I appreciate you too, brother, man. And thank you that you're here, brother. So Susie, what is Susie saying? Susie is saying, any chance of getting a user guide for the UI transaction and, hold on a second, TX transaction and DX? And I don't know what DX mean. I don't know what is DX. I don't know. Anyway, I get confused as to what button I can click. When can I click them? And what the effect will be? Thanks, Mike. You are the greatest. Susie, thank you very much. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Oh, TitanX. Susie saying TitanX. Okay. Okay. So you mean in the on the try? Ah, okay. So you mean here directly, right? I think that's the thing. I think you mean here. Okay. I mean, I think I haven't made any. Did I make any YouTube videos? I think so. Um, I mean, I haven't done a whole walkthrough of the whole thing. I mean, what I could do, Susie, is maybe I could do a whole full rundown of the site. So I'm gonna put it in my to-do list. Maybe I'm gonna make a site, but potentially now, oh, how long do we have now? We've got 5 more minutes. Yeah, we've got 5 more minutes. I mean, okay, let me just walk through this quickly now. So I mean, I guess this is like for most people. So So the majority of time is like you either start mining. So these are the buttons you're going to be pressing, the big blue buttons. That's what we normally talk about. That's a bit of like a meme. Press the big blue buttons. Yeah, visit app.TitanX to win and press the big blue buttons. So anyhow, most cases is you're gonna either create a miner. This is what you're gonna manipulate the length and the power, and then create a batch miner. I think I actually did a video. Actually, if you look through my YouTube video, you should be able to find. I think there's also a playlist regarding that. So look through that. I think that's going to be much easier than me trying to explain it right here. All right. Yeah. What is he saying? We need more users to participate in these new protocols, or else it's just some money sprinkled around. Yeah. I mean, I totally agree, and I definitely said that as well. I mean, we did new projects, and yeah, I mean, potentially like one of the reasons why I created TitanX Hub .com is basically, yeah, how do you get new users to the system, right? You need to have a very easy process to get them in, right? And yeah, I mean, TitanXHub.com was just my attempt, let's say, to at least the whole things which what is going on, to just keep it all centralized. Like, I mean, just have all the information in one place. At least this is my attempt, right? Which is okay. They can look at stuff like, oh, what is Titan Blaze, or maybe let me visit their Twitter account. You know, oh, look at these many projects which are coming, which is also a new marketing narrative. So I think this is all great, and this is all nice, and yeah, and yeah, we definitely need these new projects, and yeah, there's definitely that. So yeah, but I'm still looking forward. I still believe that yeah, these projects, some like will do good. I think I like Titan Blaze, for instance. I mean, I like the distribution model, man. I don't know. I had them on last Sunday on the Twitter Spaces, so that was really great. I think they could have done a better job to explaining it per se, but nevertheless, I think I could also have spent more time trying to understand what they had sent me earlier. But anyway, I think we tried our best, and when the white paper comes out, I think it's going to be way more clear, and we can definitely, yeah, I can, yeah. But I like their distribution model in some ways because yeah, we can talk about it. I think it's in the upcoming time. Yeah, so Titan Blaze looks good. TitanX market also very great, man, because yeah, so it's like tokenized miners and stakes, right? Yeah, so you're gonna be able to get loans on your miners, and also not only loans, but you can also, I think, sell also yours. Okay, here you see, uh, I shouldn't have even thought about what's in my head. Just read here. So the product enables you can sell off miners, sell off stakes, receiving a loan against miners as collateral, receiving loan against stakes as collateral, purchase of miners, purchase of stakes, granting a loan against miners as collateral, granting a loan. Okay, so like you are the user granting a loan. I mean, I'm really looking forward to do an interview with these guys, because this is, I think, I don't know. This is the only information I got so far. So, or I had these guys last week on the Twitter Spaces, so that's why I know a bit more about that. I like their project, Chinese market. I've looked into the white paper; it also looks great. Helios, I haven't looked into it yet, but I'm gonna have potentially next week an interview with the guy, so I'm forced to look at it, which is great because then I know more about stuff. And then yeah, pretty much it now. That's pretty much it. And the thing is, this is also something which is I really need to look into it. Is if you look at TitanX market, right? They have a token which is called King X. So now I have TitanX and the token itself listed. So I wrote to the guy, but I guess he's just very busy himself doing a lot of development. Is I would have liked it to just be one thing. So now TitanX, maybe in brackets, King X, the token is King X, because now I have listed it twice. So I don't know. I'll have to figure out something because I don't like it that it's now two things. I mean, if they have two tokens, then I have nothing. Well, this that's that. I just have to go with it. But otherwise, I would like it to be differently. Yeah. So there's that. So, but TitanX market, it's I mean, absolutely crazy, guys. I mean, yeah, from I mean, look what you can do here. So imagine. Okay, one thing which you also need to know is like you need to create all the miners stakes through their protocol. So all existing miners and protocols, yeah, it doesn't work. So every new miner and and stakes, if you do it through their smart contract, then you'll be able to do all this kind of stuff here, which is great actually. I mean, it does create like a secondary market. Yes, I think Jake mentioned that he doesn't like it very much, but the thing is like it's also great for people. Imagine you can just sell your miner. Imagine now you have 280 days miner, right? And you need the money now, but you cannot do anything. So you need the money now. Well, I mean, potentially you're going to get some money now and not later, right? So I think it's great. I think it's great that this project is there. So so let's look at some of the stuff here, for instance, right? So TitanX market, you can do everything. So yeah, one of the things which you cannot do, that's definitely something which some people are gonna look at it in a way that they would not like this, which is like there's no option to burn the mine and stakes for other protocols. So that's definitely a big downside, guys. Yeah, because yeah, I mean that's gonna be a showstopper for definitely for a lot of people, right? I mean, that's why TitanX market. What are they trying to launch? Oh yeah, they actually said it, right? So they want to launch on the 15th of February. So yeah, so for most people, this is gonna be like a more of an issue. But nevertheless, if those launch dates, if Hyper launches, and if a lot of other projects launch as well, because for most people they're gonna be looking at Shogun, and now like these are the stakes because they burn the Titanic stakes, right? Shogun. So if you now go and do your stakes with Titanic's market with their smart contract, yeah, you cannot participate in Shogun anymore. So that could definitely be a showstopper for most people. Yeah. So option to burn mine and stake for other protocols, that update will that will update to Titanic's protocol. Okay. Hold on a second. What does that mean now? Oh, so they want to update that it's possible then. Okay, maybe that's what I understood it now. I mean, this can definitely be a showstopper. So potentially, yeah. I mean, I don't know if this is upgradable. They should definitely look into that as well because a lot of people will just be like, I would like to participate, but man, I also want to have the flexibility of participating in Shogun if I do that, you know, or if a project comes and only targets miners, is also going to be an issue. So uh, anyway, man, I'm 1 hour 33 minutes. So here, Binance, what's his name again? Sorry, did I read that right? Binance, yeah, Binance. Oh man, I left. I thought you were closing out. I am actually closing out right now because we are at 1 minute 33. So I think I'm just gonna leave it at that, guys. So, guys, I wanna thank you very much for you guys being here. Shout out to my man Nanshol. He's been man, he's been sending super chat every live stream I've been doing, man. Shout out to him, and much appreciated. And much appreciated to everybody who's been watching right now. It's been 1 hour and 33 minutes now, almost 34 minutes. So hopefully I could give you hopefully I gave you a bit of updates, and there's definitely more to come in the future, and I'm gonna keep you updated as yeah, on Twitter as well. So follow me on Twitter, guys, if you haven't already. And yeah, bookmark titanxhub.com. This is definitely the site which I'm going to be working on. There's a lot of updates I'm working in the background, And yeah, that's that. So thank you very much, much appreciated. V, you appreciate more than you know. Cheers, Mike, man. Thank you very much, guys. Man, I appreciate you guys more. I appreciate you guys. Anyway, thank you very much, and enjoy your evening, guys, or maybe morning, whatever you are. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye bye. Thank you.